Alright, you guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be I'm going to show you guys how to take the caliper off of a Ford Expedition. That's a 97 two-wheel drive 5.4, and so we're going to be taking the caliper off, replacing the pads. We're also going to be completely disassembling and removing the rotor because we're replacing it, and then I'll also show you how to re-grease the bearings in here and also remove the bearings and everything else to get it ready for a new rotor. If it's two-wheel drive, you can kind of apply it to four-wheel drive, but it's a little bit different, so let's get started. Alright, so you've got two 19mm bolts on the back here holding the caliper onto the truck. So let's go ahead and get these off. One's up here. Use my impact back here. There we go. So those are your caliper mounting bolts, nice big beefy suckers. And so we're gonna grab the entire caliper, slide it off. Try and just set it up here so it's not stretching the line in any way. There we go. Just like that, nice and happy. Okay, next. Alright, sorry. Next we need to get this dust shield off. So to do that, I just use a flat blade screwdriver. Just sort of pry up on, there we go. Just sort of work your way around. Now, there's your dust cap off. Then next we need to get this cotter pin out. Yeah, she needs a, this is my girlfriend's truck, and she definitely needs a re-grease because it is filthy in here. I'm trying to find the other side of that cotter pin. If there is one. Nope, there's not. Okay. I'll try and straighten this out. There we go. Cotter pins out. Next is the castle, like a crown nut. Basically, it sits over the spindle nut to keep that from moving. Next, we need to take this bolt off, which is usually pretty light anyway. Can sit, you know, light on the torque. And this comes off, and then if you just slide it forward, that outer bearing will just slide right out, just like that. As well as this washer. It keeps everything situated. So that's there. And then just pull it right off. Just like that. And you've got your rotor off. So now let's go into the shade of the garage and go rebuild this thing, or transfer the parts over to the new one. Okay, so this is the way that I like to do it. I've been doing it for a while now on my truck too, and I haven't had any problems with it. So I'll take just a big flat blade screwdriver on the inner bearing and just lightly tap it a little bit, just to get that rear seal sort of opened up, if you will, because we need to get this piece out of here, which is pressed in there. So it can be in there, And I tried getting this one out yesterday and it just did not want to cooperate. So, we've got a little bit of a ridge right there we can use. So I'm going to lean this up against here. And, yeah, sorry about my ventilation hole. So, just like that. Start working it up and out of there. And just work your way around, and it'll eventually just pop right out. See, it's starting to lift now. There it goes. That's the main seal out, and then the inner bearing comes right out, just like that. So now we're going to clean everything up. We can pretty much just toss this in the garbage. Since we're not using it anymore and the new one's in the box, so we'll take that out and we'll get working on it. Alright, so now we're going to clean the bearings, and you're going to need, all I can say is towels, towels, towels. You're going to need a lot of them, or you know, these disposable shop rags. That's what I love using because they're cheap and they go a long way. So we're just going to wipe all this old nasty grease out of here, off all the rollers. Just as much as we can. And then we're going to hit it with a shot of brake parts cleaner. Just to really clean it. And then we're going to, this is my little grease thing here, we're going to just tap it to get anything out of there that may have just gotten dislodged by the brake parts cleaner. And then we're going to wipe it down one more time because we don't really want brake parts cleaner getting contaminated, or our new grease getting contaminated with brake parts cleaner. You just see all that extra stuff that's just coming out of there. So we are cleaning. So that's that bearing cleaned out. So let's do the outer now. This guy, which I know it's disgusting, and I just hit a dilemma. Oh jeez. So again, just clean it best you can. Sorry, it's really freaking hot outside today. Okay, that's good. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and grease her up. So, there's my grease gun. I'll be back. Alright, so since I don't have tube grease anymore, I just have a grease gun. So I'm just going to put like 10 to 15 squirts of this stuff in my hand. And again, this is Arch Oil's Awesome Grease, which that's the color of it. They have a few different types of greases, but I like this one. It really sticks in the bearings well. So then you're just going to start running it in there just like that. And you're basically just scraping it into the slots in between. And you can see all the old crap coming out of there. So you just want to do it until all that old crap comes out, and basically just lather this thing up. So we'll pick it up after we get both the bearings done. Alright, so we've got our brand new brake rotor out here. And so we're going to take our freshly greased rear, inner bearing, And go ahead and set that in, and the concave side is going to go inward. Actually, it just reminded me of something I like to put a little thin layer of grease on the inside where the bearing rides in that race. For both smoother and quieter operation, and also lube up where the inner seal goes. There we go. Alright, now we'll set it in. Just like that. Beauty. Alright, now we're going to press that main seal on in the rear. But we're going to clean it off first because this is just disgusting. And then just tap her away. Just like that. And then now from this point on, all we need to do in here is just clean the rotor face on the rear, since we really can't get to it once it's on the truck, because in order to get the outer bearing in and the rest of the stuff, this needs to be sitting on the truck. So we'll actually we'll just clean it up now. Oh damn, I'm out of shop towels. Yeah, I'll be right back. Let me get some towels. Okay. The reason why I want to do this is because they put a bunch of oils on here to keep it from rusting during shipping. And you don't want this on your pads. Beautiful. Alright, let's go put this on the truck. Alright, next you're going to want to get this spindle nice and clean. Beauty. Alright, now you're going to want to put the rotor on. Oh, hold on. I'm jumping ahead of myself again. This is just something else I like to do, is just put a little bit on here. And then rub it in. Just like that. And then just slide it on like so. And then get your bearing. Again, concave side going in. Just like that. And then you've got your washer. Let's get that cleaned off, all the old grease. And that's going to go on, followed by this nut. Now, there's really no specified torque on this, since it is just a hub on a spindle. But what I like to do is I like to take a wrench and tighten this down really freaking tight, just to help set the bearings, and then spin it both ways back and forth to help set the bearings into their final spots. Tighten it just a little bit more now. Do the same thing. And then back it off. And then start tightening again, just till it starts firming up, and then spin it, and it should be able to free spin for a little bit. That's the kind of play that I look for, and there's no back and forth play on this, so we're good here. Now, I'm going to clean this space of the rotor. Nice and clean. Perfect. And then we're going to get our cotter pin in here. Oh, hold on, I'm jumping the gun. Whoops. It's the castle nut first, and then the cotter pin. It's kind of useless if that cotter pin doesn't have anything to grab onto. And if you can't get it to line up, just keep spinning it one notch at a time, and you'll eventually find a slot that it lines up with. Right there. Now the cotter pin. Just like that. And then bend the cotter pin back up and over. Just like that. And then your dust cap, which I'm going to scoop all this grease out of here. Just like that. Tap it in. Go. So I checked her brake pads, and her brake pads actually still have a lot of meat on them, so I'm just going to leave them and then just put the old ones back on, like I said, because these ones are still in really good shape, so I don't see the point in going over. So, but we have spare brake pads now once these things get worn. Come on, be nice. There we go. Ugh. Alright, I'm just going to use my impact to snug that down. Second one down here. There it goes. Beauty. Just like that. And then, like, I don't know if this is right, but Chilton, or basically Haynes, is saying it's only 26 foot-pounds for this, but I'm going a little bit over that just for because it's brakes. So, but I'm torquing them to 50. So I'm gonna torque these, and then that's it. So, and then you know you've got your brand new rotor and hub and everything else on there. So take care, guys.